In this video, we're going to discuss how to rip LP music onto the computer, then onto a CD that will play in the car or in a CD player. So the first thing we need to do is load up our Audacity software that's on our desktop. We're going to double left click that. It will load up. We need to make sure that the LP player is powered on and get it primed, because we're going to be using it really quick. And so we've got that open and primed. Now that we've got that open and primed, we're going to click on the record button on Audacity. So we're going to click that. It is now looking for the LP player, and my professional help here is going to prime the LP player. And there we go. We are now gathering music from the LP player, and we are recording it onto the computer. Now I want you to pay careful attention to this moving time bar here. So this is going to tell you how much time you're recording on the LP, and you need to be very conscious and kind of babysit this whole process to make sure that you're not just recording dead noise, that your LP record hasn't quit and you're just recording dead noise. You can also, as long as you keep it under 80 minutes, you can take your LP, and when the first side has played out and recorded on the computer, you can take your LP and flip it and begin recording the second side by simply flipping it and putting the needle back into position. You won't need to modify anything on the computer, as it will still be recording. Now, for purposes of this demonstration, we're going to pretend like the entire LP has been recorded to the computer, and we are going to stop the recording. And again, this will be a process you'll have to kind of babysit to make sure you don't have too much recording on the computer of just blank white noise, and just kind of make sure you're recording only the LP. So let's pretend like the LP has stopped on side 2. We're going to hit the stop button up in the top left of the computer, and then what we're going to do is we're going to click on File, and then we're going to go down to Export, and then we're going to make sure this Save As type is set to MP3 files, and then we're going to make sure we're on the desktop, and we're going to name our particular file, which is the entire LP. So we're going to call this one, we're going to pretend like we just ripped Elvis Presley, and then let's say the LP was called Vegas. So once we type in the name and the artist and the album name, we'll hit save here. That's going to save this file onto your desktop. It'll prompt you for a little bit more information about the artist. You don't have to fill any of that out. You can simply click OK, and then you'll have a little progress bar that will export the file, and it could take some time for a larger file. Now that we're done exporting, we're going to click on the X up in the top right. It's going to ask us to save before closing. We're going to hit no because we just did. Now we're going to find our file on the desktop. In this case, it is Elvis Presley Vegas. We're going to right click on that file. We're going to hover over Send To. Then we're going to click on DVD RW Drive, and that's a left click. Now we're going to click on left click Burn to Disk right here, and then we're going to insert a blank disk into the DVD drive, and we're going to push the drive back in. Now once we enter that blank disk, we're going to hit Next. Apologies, that disk was not blank. And we're going to enter a second blank disk. Now once we enter this blank disk, the computer will automatically read it and take us to the next step. So it's reading it right now. Okay, in this next step it's saying, hey, do you want to name your disc? If you want to name it, you can do so here and call it Elvis Presley Vegas. I normally don't name mine, but you're welcome to. We're going to click on Next, and then we're going to make sure that this option is checked, make an audio CD for standard audio CD players. We're going to click Next again. Now, if you'll notice over here in the bottom right, there's a little button that says Start Burn. We're going to click on that, and it's going to burn our audio onto our disc. And then you'll also have a progress bar down here in the bottom right that'll tell you how much information is currently being burned to that disc. So that's all you'll have to do in a nutshell to burn an LP onto a CD. And just wait for it to complete, and the disc will pop out of the drive. Then you can label it with a Sharpie and then go listen to it.